All right. Thanks for tuning in again for the second half. And as promised last week, we have the second question with Miss Nicole. We're going to get in on her question this week because it kind of tied into the topic from last week. And if you didn't hear the topic from last week, well, you're going to have to wait till it replays again. All right, Nicole. So you said, do women know the difference between a man who likes them for real or for a booty call? What did you say?
Yes, and I've been having several conversations this week or the past 2 weeks with girlfriends of mine. And let's be clear, I've totally been in this space myself, so I'm not here to judge anyone because I've done it all. Trust me. Do women know when a man likes them past a friend or a booty call? Do we know that? Are there is there what are the signs? Do women know what the signs are of a man who is like interested in like a committed relationship versus a casual friendship or a casual sex buddy type of thing? Do we know that?
Hey, Kia, so what you think?
I was about to say the signs are, to me, pretty clear. If he's calling you only at certain times, if he's not taking you out, if that's what your relationship is mostly consists of, then I would just assume that you would know that was a booty call. And I'll be very honest, you can even be in a booty call.
What if he takes you out sometimes, though? I think that's where for some it gets a little tricky. It's not the situation where you're only meeting him at midnight after dark. What if he does take you out?
But wait, I was going to say, I think there are situations where you can even be in a relationship and it could be just, that's what it is. If, y'all have bomb sex and then y'all don't connect on another level, then he probably just may keep you around as his so-called girlfriend because he knows he's going to want some and he's going to get some because he's in a so-called relationship with you. So he can take you out, but if y'all not even, like I said, that's necessarily connecting on a certain level, and he's not necessarily talking about, moving forward, I would say that's what that relationship even consists of: booty calls on a regular.
Wow, that's interesting.
I wasn't expecting that angle either. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, Paige, what do you think?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that angle because I was thinking like what she said initially, like, yeah, if they're only calling you at a certain time of the night, if they're only reaching out to you, and if every time they talk to you, it's something about sex or something about how you look or your butt or what, you sort of gather he continuously trying to get some, but he ain't trying to take me out. Or if it gets to the point where y'all supposed to go somewhere, something came up or something like that. So, a lot of times for me, I especially when I was single, I didn't always know, but then for the most part too, I did know because some men would just tell you, hey, I'm interested in you, I want to get to know you, this, that, another thing. So I was more used to that, because when I didn't know, or I thought they were just trying to be friends, and then all of a sudden they got mad at you about something and you don't even know why they mad, but just because you out with somebody else and you thinking that y'all just cool in the gang and y'all friends and things like that, and then all of a sudden they turn on you, because they already had ulterior motives. So which could have been for you to be sexing them, and or they were looking for a relationship. So I always thought it was sort of obvious for the most part, unless they just didn't tell you because they were just waiting for that right time. Now they say some men just hang around until you have a weak moment or a weak spot or something like that, and because you've already probably friend zoned them or something like that. So yeah.
I think what I came up with this question because I'm thinking of some specific scenarios where it's not as black and white. Like I'm thinking, these are things friends have shared where, like, for one case, the guy took her on a beautiful vacation. When they do go out, they go to expensive restaurants. So it's not like a situation where the person is totally keeping you in the house. It's not a situation where they're just calling you and talking about your booty. I'm thinking of another instance where this guy I know, for a friend, I don't know the guy. He calls a friend of mine like almost every day. He calls her every day or almost every day, texts her very frequently, he never brings up sex or sexual innuendo. The conversations are very fun and respectful. It's never about sex, but he doesn't ask to like see her. So we're like, okay, what is this? He's calling.
So
He's not disrespecting her sexually, but is he setting up dates? No.
So I think this, right? So I'm gonna give you this scenario that happened to me way back when I first started doing the internet. Well, it wasn't just internet because I used to have live tapings as well. When I first started doing talk shows in general. So I got interviewed a lot back then on everybody's radio show because that was when blog talks and stuff was just starting. And so people were, if you were doing anything and your name was out there, they were interviewing you. So I did somebody's talk show one day, and this lady called in because I was talking about booty calls and friends with benefits, because I was advising women, if you really want a relationship, then don't get caught up in a booty call or a friend with benefits. And this lady told me point blank, she said that booty calls and friends with benefits is how a woman gets her foot in the door. And then women hope that it will develop from there. But now let's just think back to what we just said on last week's show, when we said that you can have a man that you travel with, you can have a man that you go dancing with, you can have a man that you enjoy talking to. I have a great guy friend. We talk every day, sometimes for hours, and I would not consider dating him. He's not somebody I'm gonna date.
Oh, you talk to him every day though, pretty much.
But yeah, because he's really intelligent. I learn a lot from him, and even though we get into it, because this is the same guy, Nicole, that me and him got into it over Kevin Samuels. Remember, me and you both had a friend who was mad at
Oh, I have a friend like that too.
Yeah, so we got into it. He didn't talk to me for like two weeks.
Yep,
or something like that.
But you did say he was a great friend. Yep.
And so now, we're back to talking. But he's single and I'm single. So I mean, if we wanted to date, there's nothing stopping us from dating, But I think that women and sometimes men, because it's happened before, my stalker stories. So it's happened before. People, when sex is in the mix, I think that the person who is not as attached is hoping that other person's attachment will grow and catch up with theirs. If I went on a vacation with my ex after we broke up. We went on a vacation together, and it wasn't like we were getting back together.
Right.
That wasn't my intention anyway. I'm not sure what his actual intentions were, but we seemed to both be clear that it wasn't for us to get back together. But I think that sometimes when sex is involved, there's one person that's hoping that the other gets more attached. So do they know they're a booty call or a friend with benefits? I think they know, but they're hoping it grows past that.
Okay, so maybe there's a bit of denial. Maybe there's just a bit of denial there. Like, I know what this is. However, like you said, because we're having such great times together, even going as far as vacation, it appears as though he's enjoying himself. So in your mind, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we're growing closer, whereas the other person may not be looking at it that way, right? Or even the cases where I just described, maybe there isn't sex. Like I know a woman that she talks to this guy very frequently, but there is no sex. He's not initiating sex. He's not dying.
If he's not initiating sex, then she shouldn't be confused that they're just friends.
Well, she is. In her mind, they're growing closer because they're now, I mean, there was a time when he wasn't calling every day, but now it seems like he's calling most days, maybe not every day. He's calling and he's texting, but there's no sexual innuendo on his side of the house.
He might just want to talk.
And he's not like trying to set up dates. So in her mind, they're getting closer because the communication is growing closer, but he's not making plans.
Let me ask you this.
He just wants to talk.
Yeah. Are they talking about them?
Relationships?
Yeah, are they talking about?
No. I mean, I think she might throw out some flirty innuendos every now and then, but he doesn't. He doesn't mention a relationship or anything of that nature. No.
That's her chat buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. So do men like chat buddies then? I mean, men like women that they can just talk to and not see? What is that?
If it's filling a void, if he just wants somebody to talk to in the evenings, if he's home alone and he's drinking a beer, a glass of wine, and just wants some company, and that's who he might have to talk to, then why not?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's your turn. Go ahead, Paige.
No, does he talk to her about other women?
No. She doesn't know anything about his dating life because he does not talk about it.
Does she talk about other men?
No, she's not dating anyone else.
Mm.
She's not dating. So no, there is no other men to talk about.
So they just talk about what they did every day or what's going on?
So, yep, little life stuff, current events, maybe the game, the finals. I think they both have been watching the NBA games. Like, yeah, they'll just talk about little stuff like that, or just life. They're never really talking about each other's relationship status, really, or he doesn't bring up them dating or anything like that.
He's never asked her about her status?
I feel like maybe one time he did. And they did talk a little bit about the past. He's been through some things too. So I think one time they did kind of get a little bit into that, but he's not the type of guy who's super forthcoming about those things.
And where did they meet?
I feel like they met online years ago, and then they somehow reconnected online recently. I think he came over to visit recently to her house to watch a game or something. But he has not, they didn't have sex, but he hasn't he has not asked her out on a formal date. He has not said, hey, had a great time last night. Let's go to the show or let's go to the movies. So I think that's where for some people it can become confusing because you're like, we had a great time. We're laughing, we're talking, we're joking, we're vibing, but then there's nothing.
Then why don't she mention a date and see what his response is? Like, yeah, I got
I think she did. One time she did, like there was something going on that she wanted to go to. She was just like, hey, do you want to go with me to such and such? No.
Not with him. Like, has she ever mentioned to him, oh, like I got asked out on a date? Like, has she ever?
No, she has not told him about any guys or anything, no.
Because what she doesn't want him to think he's not in the running. I mean, like what?
Well, I don't think she's dating. I don't think she has anyone that she's currently dating.
Is she an attractive woman?
She would have to lie. She doesn't go out. Like she's one of those people where she's not social as much as she used to be in her younger years. So she's one of these people where she's just not gonna go out to meet guys.
Oh, so she's hoping that the guy falls into her lap.
Yes, basically, because she's not the type to go out. She doesn't, a lot of her friends, she's kind of mid-40s. So I think, a lot of her childhood friends are married with children. So they're not necessarily going out. She just moved to a town a little further away. So I don't even think she knows her new town that well. She's not one to just go to the bar. Like me, if I lived somewhere that I didn't know, I would just go to the bar and sit there because I know I would meet someone.
I'm gonna find some networking events.
Yeah, she's not that type, right? She's not the type to just go by herself, sit somewhere.
So for me, I feel like she's predictable to him. He doesn't necessarily. She's gonna answer when he calls. She's looking forward to talking to him. So he is her buddy, and he doesn't have to really put forth any effort if he was, you know what I'm saying? Because for him, she's safe. So if he ever decided he wanted to date her, he's not worried about her going. She don't really go out. She's not really, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that you have to be exciting. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, that old saying, a lot of times people want what somebody else has or
can't have.
Yeah. And they want what others want sometimes. if you're just sitting at home and you're predictable and you always answer my calls, and I mean, and we haven't even established or said that we're dating or we're going
No.
out or we're hanging out, then I don't really, I mean, I don't know, because I probably would at least, even if I had to make myself go to the bar and call him, you know what I'm saying? Like, go, I would be sitting in that bar, and and if he's predictable too, and he calls regularly, like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the bar, you know, I went.
Call you back.
Yeah, let me call you back, and he's gonna. If he's interested in her, it's gonna come up. Oh, well, who did you go out with, or what were you doing? You know what I'm saying? She's not doing any of that. She's just waiting for him to call and make his move. And she gonna be disappointed when he don't, and he's not. Or she finds out he in a full other relationship with somebody. You get what I'm saying? Like,
but that's always my philosophy. I always say, if I'm connecting with a man and we're not hanging out, it's because he's hanging out with someone else. It's truly that simple for me. Because I have another girlfriend on the opposite side of the spectrum, very attractive, very social, always out and about. She is not sitting at home for nobody.
Oh, you muted yourself again. How do you keep muting yourself? Unmute yourself, Nicole.
Talking with her hands.
His girlfriend. She does answer when he calls every time. Even though she has a huge social life, she will drop everything for his calls.
What did you say? What did you say about their relationship?
Huh?
What did you say about their relationship? What did you just say about
that? This is the couple that he'll take her on vacation. They'll go out on a date occasionally. It's not like they're going out every night. She has a very busy social life, super attractive. Men definitely like her. She's very social. However, he's not rushing to make her his girlfriend. So she is the opposite end of the spectrum. The one friend, she's a homebody. She never leaves the house. She's predictable and boring. The other girl is a socialite, always doing stuff either with her daughter or with her friends, like always just somewhere, but he's still not choosing her. And and she has been delusional for a large part of their interaction. In her mind, they get along so well, they have sex, they do, so in her mind, they're working towards a relationship. In his mind, because, I'm actually more friends with him, he's like, well, I never told her that. Like what you just said, I think on the other segment page, he's like, I never told her that we were in a relationship. I never told her I wanted her to be my girlfriend. But in her mind, we have this connection. So that's why I said,
if they don't say it, you don't think
really likes them.
If they don't say it, it ain't so. And I'm just saying, like, she can be delusional all she want, but if he hasn't said that, hey, I want to see where this can go. I want to see where we can take this. I want to, I want to take that next step, or, I'm dating with a purpose, or I'm why you think I'm doing this, that, and other things? Because I want to see where this can go. If he has not said that, we as women have to get it out of our head and stop thinking what we want to happen and keep our eyes open to what actually is happening. We keep our eyes closed, and then we bump the walls saying, but the wall was there. No. You bumped into it because you got your eyes closed. No, like, if he is not saying that, and just like you said, he's your friend, and he said, I never told her that. He didn't, and he
no, he did not. So wait, so then for women, then do you think I personally have, in my experiences and from my guy friends like him, like Steve Harvey said, I'm not going to tell a man this. I feel like in 90 days, if we are spending ample time together, whether we're having sex, whether we're not, in 90 days, he should, like you said, there should be some sort of determination of what we are doing.
Now, he should have said something by now. She's making herself available for a what if.
I have another girlfriend, same situation. That's why I said all of my friends in the past 2 weeks have been having the same issue. She's been seeing a guy now over 6 months. Same exact thing. They're having all this sex. They go on dates sometimes, not all the time. But it's been over 6 months. He has not brought up the relationship. And matter of fact, I think he even told this one, I think he told her straight up in the beginning, I'm not really a commitment type of guy. And so now her feelings are getting hurt because he's not doing certain things, and she hasn't seen him in 3 weeks. And I'm like, wait, what?
Ooh,
But why is it still happening? And these women are all 40, almost 40 or over 40.
because
The two are like 45 and up. The one might be on the cusp of 40. So I'm just like trying to figure out, like, at what point do we really understand how dating
because
works?
they're still thinking in childish ways where when we were young, I'm sorry guys, I don't want to just, but when we were young, we had guys that chased us, they hit us, and ooh, he liked us, or passed us a note, or told his friend such, tell her I like her, and this and other things. Okay, or he looked at you a certain way, and so you knew, sort of filling me and this, that, and other things. Now we that was when we were kids, though. Like, as grown men and women, we are, as adults, we tell the other person what we want, what our intentions are. We grown enough to know what somebody's intentions are. If you tell me that you're not ready for a relationship, then I know, and I'm not going to think because we're doing stuff that you ready for a relationship. But what I won't do is make myself 100% available for you, non-committal. I will not do, and I will let you know, as you're not ready for a relationship, I am dating. Now, if he chooses not to keep hanging on or not wanting to date me, oh well, I'm gonna move on. Even if I didn't have anybody, I'm moving on.
But you know what I'm hearing, Paige? Women of today, of my generation, are saying all three of these women have told me some variation of, well, I don't want to play games. And I literally said to them, why don't you? I said, why don't you want to play games? What's wrong with you? He playing with you. Why don't you? I don't understand. What do you have to gain by being a sitting duck?
And this is the thing.
Women are saying, I don't want to play games. I don't want to play games. And the man is playing with them, though. The man is literally playing with them.
Okay, go ahead, Paige.
In a way, are they playing? Because they haven't told you everything. Like, they haven't told the man, because he's hanging out with her, he calls her every day. He ain't said to her, this is what I want. The guy non-committal said, I'm non-committal. He not playing with her. The cute one who goes on the vacations and stuff with her, he has not told her those things. She has, in her mind, those are the things I want from him. And by the way, respond, he wouldn't do this, that, another thing, and he could be doing it with several other people.
Oh, he is the one. That's my friend is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when people, unless he told me, then I'm gonna be mad at you because you playing with me, right? Because you told me this is what you want, this is where you want to go, and now you playing with me because you saying it to other people, because you could have gave me that option. But if you didn't tell me, I can't hold you accountable for what you didn't tell me, not what my mind wants to tell me. Like, no, we women are much smarter, but we, for some reason,
we're not.
We just got caught up on the.
I think we are smarter. Not to cut anybody off. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I heard Nicole say we're not smarter.
Go ahead, Kia.
No, I heard Nicole say we're not smart. Like, I heard Paige say we're smarter than that, and Nicole said we're not. But I think we are smarter.
Men, but it seems like when it comes to men, we're very not smarter.
Well, I think we just hold on to hope.
Single space.
I think we just get in trouble. Yeah, I think we get in trouble with the hope of it all, and hoping that things will turn out in a way that we would like them to turn out, versus seeing something for what it is and then acting accordingly.
Or just learning from our past experiences.
Or
right?
Learning from our past. But
that goes to that question that I was gonna ask instead of the Monique question. Do women rationalize red flags and ignore them
all the time? all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
and so this
exactly what
question
we
that
do.
Nicole had, clearly those women are rationalizing or ignoring the red flags because they're blaring red flags to the rest of us. Like
Mhm.
the motherfucking flag is on fire. Okay.
Yeah,
It's on
it's
fire.
burning.
But that's how you end up a certain age and still single. Spending all your
Yeah,
time, wasting your time in those situations.
Right.
and
So
like,
all these topics are
and like
linked
Tia
together.
said, it's the hope. It's
It's
the
the
hope of
hope.
what she wants,
Right.
instead of the reality. Like sometimes, like I need to just walk up to you and slap you
Right.
into reality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like slap you into reality that no, he did not say what you're hoping.
Because I'm hearing women in my conversations with these women, it's always, and I've probably done this in the past too, it's always what I want. Oh, I really like him. I really want this. I want this, 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 this. Okay, time out. Pause. Slow down. Did anyone stop to think, but what does he want? Does he
Right.
want that? And does he want it from you?
You
No women are asking themselves that question.
Mhm.
It's
Exactly.
all, I know I really like him. I really want him. And like I said, I've been here. I really want him. I like him. I like him. I like him. We have a crush, right? It's a crush. I have a crush on this guy. He's this. He's that. He's amazing. He's funny. He's smart. He does this. He does that. But no one, not one of these women have sat and asked themselves, what does he like? Did he say he wants all of these amazing things that I've just listed? Did he say he wanted any of that? Or did he say that I was the moon and the sun and the stars to him?
Right.
He said he's that for you, but are you that for him? And I think, I don't know, maybe the answer is too hurtful to ask oneself, but maybe that's something women need to start asking themselves. Are you all of those things for him?
So
And
yeah,
you
we're running out of time again
Okay.
as usual. So let's get our final thoughts in. So let's start. Kia, go ahead. You've been the quietest on here. Go ahead and give us your final thoughts on this topic.
Like we've all said, I really think that as women, we know, I do think we hold on to hope way too much. Like it's been said, if the man is not telling you what it is, if a man is not asking you to be in a relationship, then you cannot, as women, you cannot assume that you are in one. You cannot hold off as if you are in one. You cannot stop your life. You got to keep living your life. And I suggest you keep on dating until a man actually proposes that situation, because that's really how we just get lost in hope. We zero in on this one guy and we forget about everything else. No, live your life. If that man ain't said it, somebody else will. And until he does, live.
Yep. Paige?
I agree with Kia, and one of the things is if they're holding on to hope, they're putting him in a boyfriend status, totally making themselves 100% available to that person who has not even told them they want them as a girlfriend. And and it's very frustrating because we all have done that in our lives. But when you know better, you do better, hopefully. And as we get older, you just assume that, you know what, I did that, done that, I ain't doing that again. But what I'm finding is it's almost like regression or something like that, you know. So I that holding out for hope, keep hope alive. That's just, I don't know, but we just gonna have to do better. And this is the sad thing, is that sometimes even as friends, when you try to tell them, they turn on you thinking you hate on them and hating on their relationship, when you really could, when you're really trying to bring them out of the matrix,
Yes. No, it's true.
All right, Nicole, what's your final words on this?
Oh, I was hoping Paige was last because she was so prolific. I can say, probably to piggyback on what Kia and Paige said, was women, if you find yourself in this position, because we all have or will, I think the best course of action is to try to take that man off of the pedestal. For whatever reason, we lift some of these men up to a God status, and it's like, oh my God, this is the best person on the planet, and he's not. If you think about it in realistic terms, he's probably not doing much of anything for you. You probably don't even talk to him that much, or if you talk to him, you don't see him. I say take that man off the pedestal and put yourself on the pedestal. If you can start to look at yourself as worthy, as special, as someone that any man would be happy to have, you may be able to behave a little bit differently in these crush situations, and it's okay to have a crush. But I don't think you always have to wear your feelings on your sleeve. I don't think the man even has to know that you have a crush. I think that there is a balanced way to like someone without being desperate and without throwing your pearls to swine.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to say to all the women who can hear this show right now, if you think you might be the booty call, or you guys are just friends with benefits, you are. Okay. Because one thing that is for certain, and I know this for true and for real, when a man wants you, there is no doubt.
No doubt.
You can't stop him from coming after you. You can't beat him off. He gonna
You
be
can't
right
press him
there.
enough, okay?
He is not gonna allow any space for another man to get in there. That's if he wants you. He ain't gonna allow no space.
No.
He gonna make sure he got you happy. He gonna make sure that your sexual needs is met. He gonna be right there staring in your face to make sure that you ain't staring in the next dude's face.
Yeah.
So if you have any doubt about what you're in, then you ain't in nothing. That's
right. Right, or you might be in some sugar honey iced tea, right?
Yes, that's what you might be in. So we are wrapping up another segment of Girl Talk. This is really good. So we still got 2 more questions to go. So hopefully you guys will join us next week on Thursday at 1:30 so you can get the 3rd segment of the show. But for now, we're gonna say until next week. Later.
Until next week.
Yes.